Story 1 Out of nowhere, my GF asked me for a hall pass this morning. I was shocked hearing that cause I always knew that she was a monogamous person and hated this kind of stuffs. I asked her what the hell she's talking about. She told me that she wants variations on her sexual experience and ready to give me a hall pass too if I agree. I silently stared towards her. I felt like I was stabbed by a knife in my heart and somehow I was controlling my tears not to come out. I was dead silent at that moment and just looking towards the ground with disbelief. Immediately, my GF saw my face and came down on her knees and hugged me. She told me that it's a prank she saw on TikTok and she wanted to try it on me to see my reaction but never thought that her prank will backfire like this. She started to apologize for her action and showed me a pre-recording of her pulling this prank on me. After all this, I didn't say anything to her and started to walk away outside. She tried to stop me and asking for forgiveness for her actions. I saw tears in her eyes and she was continuously begged me to stay in home and have a talk to her. She promised me that she will never do things like this again. But I just went away and stayed with one of my friend for the rest of the day. In this time period I received hundreds of texts and calls from her but I decided to ignore that. I told one of her friends that I'm thinking to break up with her and she eventually told this news to my GF. From then, I was receiving more messages and calls from her including our friends and my family members also. But I'm ignoring them cause I need some time to heal. Maybe people can think I'm overreacting but cheating or cheating-related pranks are just low to me. I love my GF so much that I never expected this kind of prank from her, so you can imagine how hurt I felt when she asked for a hall pass, even if it was a prank. Update. Hello everyone. First I'd like to thank all of you for the support you showed me. I was in a vulnerable situation after that incident. I read the comments and found mixed advice from all of you. Here's the update. I met her today. Won't go too into the details about how our meeting was arranged because it was a rough undertaking for me. I kept getting mixed messages from everyone online and in real life from my friends and family. So agreed to meet with her today. I met in a public restaurant. She previously booked a table for us. When I went there, I found her sitting on the table with a flower bouquet. When she saw me, she stood up and hugged me. I can see her eyes were red and her expression looked remorseful. It was a long hug until I broke it and told her to have a seat. She gave me the bouquet with a letter written, "I'm so sorry for all of this." I was hesitant to accept that but I did. She wanted to order food for us but I politely denied and told her that I came here to talk. She looked sad for me denying the order but told me that she understands. I told her that let's go for a walk in nearby park so that we can have some alone time and she agreed. We are sitting on bench in park. I was silent for some time but then she held my hand and told me that she will answer everything I wanted to ask. I asked why she pulled such a prank on me. Didn't she think that it may cause serious damage in relationship and the other person? She told me that she was watching this kind of prank reels for a long time and she watched how the boyfriend in those prank videos started to laugh finding out it was a prank. She thought it would be the same in our case but still she was hesitant, that's why she asked a friend of hers about this. Her friend told her to go along with it and assured her that it's just a prank and it won't affect our relationship cause both of us trust each other and we were friends for a long time, before entering in relationship, and friends can pull this kind of pranks. She told me that her friend gave her the confidence to go along with it. At that moment she started to cry and handed over her phone to check her messages. I told her that at this moment, I can't trust her at all. She started to cry hard and told me that she didn't delete any messages and it's okay that I don't trust her but at least check her text and see for myself. At that moment, I went with it and checked her messages. She was indeed telling the truth. She didn't delete any messages. I checked the timing of those messages and they were also correct. It seems like she was hesitant about pulling this prank but her friend pushed her to do it. Their text clearly showed that. I gave her the phone. She was still crying that time. I asked her, "Did you really want the hall pass?" She loudly said no. She always wanted a monogamous relationship with me and she never ever thought to do something like this in her worst dream. She was sobbing at that moment. Then she hugged me very tight and started to cry on my shoulder loudly. I was confused and didn't know what to do. I told her it was really immature from her to do something like this. She told me she knows that and she just got carried away in that moment. She promised me that she won't do something like this again in her life and she will delete TikTok forever. She told me to give her one chance so that she can show me how much she loves me. I told her I need some time to process everything. I told her she won't understand the pain which I felt the moment she asked me for the hall pass. She held my hand and told me that she will fix this in any way and asked me to go back to the house with her. I told her that she should go to her parents' house and live there for 2 weeks and I want absolutely no contact with her. She became shocked and started to cry heavily. I told her it's not something like a breakup, just a break. It's some time for me to process everything and what will be better for our future. It took some time for me to get her to agree to the terms. She told me that she understands she broke my trust and will do anything to get back with me, and if I think the no contact period will help me, then she's ready for it. I genuinely thanked her. She then made a request to me. I asked what is it and she told me not to drink too much and avoid bars. I asked her why and she told me that she fears that for the pain she caused me I may sleep with someone else and she doesn't want that. Don't know why, but I smiled and giggled and promised her I won't. Then we went to our home. She packed her things and I drove to her parents' house. I saw sorrow in her eyes the entire journey, but I thought that this will be best for us to be separated for some time. I'm at home now sitting alone, watching TV and having some tea. It feels relaxed and lonely. I'm happy that she was truthful and she's actually remorseful for her action. Now, after all this, I've no intention to break up with her, but I need this alone time for myself. Story 2. My husband, 38, and I, 34F, have been married for 5 years. We have a 4-year-old daughter and a 3-month-old son. Our son has a health condition and needs to be fed every 40 to 80 minutes. I work in IT and can easily work from home and generally make my own schedule. My husband works from 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. I get up every hour at night to feed our son so my husband can sleep. I drop our daughter off at kindergarten in the morning and then work and look after our son. I obviously don't get much sleep during the night, so I have started to go to sleep from 3:30 to 7 p.m. and I made it clear that I am not to be woken up unless it's an emergency. My husband looks after the kids and cooks tea while I'm asleep, and at 7 we all eat. After that we take turns reading stories to our daughter as a bedtime ritual. She's usually down for the night at 8. Then my husband and I have us time from 8 to roughly 9:30, which is when he goes to sleep. After that it's only me looking after our son so my husband can sleep through the night. I usually do some more work and go to sleep at around midnight, but obviously very interrupted sleep since I have to get up every hour. My husband has started complaining recently. He doesn't think I should sleep in the afternoon because during that time childcare is on him completely. He wants some time to relax when he gets home. But the thing is, I need a few hours of uninterrupted sleep too, otherwise I'll go crazy. Our son will most likely outgrow his condition and should be able to live a normal toddler life by the time he is 18 months. I can't possibly not sleep for another year and 3 months though. My husband isn't happy. Edit. I should clarify that I don't actually sleep at night due to the feeding pattern. My nap is the only sleep I get. My husband doesn't want a nanny and he doesn't want to be a SAHD. Comments: offer him to swap the shifts, you get your night sleep, and he can nap if he comes home from work. Let's see how he likes that. Comment: that sums up how awful the situation is. You work 20.5 hours a day. He works 12.5. You sleep 3.5 hours a day. He sleeps 7.5 hours a day. His mother doesn't like me very much because I chose to keep working after we had our daughter. But when I make 150k and he makes 50k, I can't really be a som. My husband doesn't like my family, so I can't really have them help out. What would he do about it? I'd rather not think about it. And in another thread of comments, he doesn't work a hard 8-hour shift. He is a personal trainer and spends a good time of his shift watching Netflix. I have a full-time job, not an easy one. I have a whole department I'm responsible for and I care for the kid. Yeah, there's more red flags here than a Chinese parade. Edit. Holy crap, it doesn't end there. I suggested we get a special needs nanny for the mornings, but my husband doesn't trust strangers in the house. I also offered him to pay him 50k a year if he would quit his job to be a SAH dad, but he didn't want to be paid by his wife and he wanted to keep a real job to feel manly. Your husband is literally saying that feeling manly is more important to him than the health of his wife or kids. A real man does not need external validation to feel manly. Also, a real man would suck it up and put the actual needs of his wife and kids first instead of trying to pretend those needs don't exist. In my opinion, you need to talk to someone who can help keep you and the kids safe, and a professional, marriage, counselor to figure out if it is healthy for you to stay in this situation. This feels well beyond the pay grade of this subreddit. Comments from OP that suggest abuse: I can't push any more than I already have. My husband isn't the type of person you reason with. Then why are you with him? Because I'm scared to leave. It seems there may have been a post between the original and the update below, but it was likely removed for mentioning violence. Update: it's been a while since I last posted, but a lot has happened, so I figured I should update you. Making this post has been an eye-opener for me, and I decided there and then that I was done. So thanks to everyone who told me what I desperately needed to hear. I started gathering evidence which would allow me to leave relatively savvily. After I had enough evidence, I prepared to leave. I gathered all documents and secretly packed up some stuff for the kids and myself. I informed my parents and my brother about the situation. My parents immediately turned my brother's old room into the new kids' room, and my old room has never stopped being mine. I waited for my husband to be gone, and then my brother picked us all up. I left a message for my husband explaining that I wasn't coming back and that I'd be filing for divorce. I also told him about all the evidence so he wouldn't do anything stupid. I've been at my parents' for nearly a week now. We have a carer who stays here 3 nights a week, and I share the other 4 nights with both my parents. My dad is retired, so he looks after the kids for a good portion of the day. I have talked to a lawyer and she said I will likely get full custody. My soon-to-be ex has left some nasty messages but hasn't shown up, so I feel relatively safe. I don't think he will fight for custody, since he was always disappointed that our daughter wasn't a son, and our son isn't the strong little boy that he wanted either. As of now, I will stay with my parents. The kids are happy, my parents are happy, and I had 7 hours of sleep last night. Comment from OP: I'm a different person. My daughter noticed the change too. Children are so sensitive, so I know I made the right decision. Thank you for joining me today. Don't forget to connect with each other in the comments below. Until next time, be kind, be curious, and I'll catch you in the next video. Until then, Corner Stories signing off.